Hello gorgeous, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. I am excited to continue the chopping block declutter series that I've been doing on my channel. I hope you are excited to be here. I have a grouping of makeup that I am ready to say goodbye to and to make a commitment to use in the month of August. So if that sounds like fun, just keep watching. In the interest of time, I did go ahead and do my brows, and the first item on the chopping block is this pencil right here. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I have had this for a long time. It is close to being done. I like it. I have it in my brows right now with no gel because I'm going to do the gel at the end after the powders. I like this pencil, but I do not think it is necessary. If you watched my video about high-end versus low-end brow pencils, you can buy it for a couple of bucks and they will work just as well. So this one is going to get used up in the month of August. The next item is one that I'm ready to say goodbye to. I mentioned in my other video that I will not show products on my channel that you cannot get your hands on. If that happens, it is completely by accident. I will apologize in the description box, but I try to check everything before I film. And some things, mostly eyeshadows, if they are retired and I love them, I will continue using them off camera. But on camera, I like to show things that you can get your hands on. So this next one is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. This one is no longer available. It was only ever in the OK category, and I did use quite a bit of this. I'm not a huge fan of the tacky primers, so no hard feelings. This one's gonna go. I'm gonna do my face today because my little problem area is bothering me. So I'm gonna go into the next primer that I have in here. I have a huge pile of stuff here. I'm gonna do my best to stay on task, but this is the Revlon Grip Matte Primer, 16-hour matte primer, and this has only ever been okay. I have just a couple of primers that really wow me, and unfortunately they are not drugstore. So if you have a drugstore matte primer or super smoothing primer that you love, please comment below. But it's just not one that I could not possibly live without. So this one I'm committing to really getting some use out of in the month of August. Eyeshadow primers, I don't have any that I need to get through or having a hard time. I really only have 3 that I rotate through. So today I didn't even bring one in. What I did bring in was this Lacome Tint Idole concealer that I have never been in love with. I think it is a nice concealer, but I bought a shade that I think is a little too dark for under my eyes. So while I do reach for it occasionally, I'm not reaching for it enough, and I've had it, I believe, over a year. So I'm going to use this concealer for my eyelids and to cover up any problem areas, which I'm using a pretty full coverage foundation. I shouldn't even be doing this, but this guy needs all the coverage you can get. But it's a little on the dry side. So I'm going to use it, and if I am still not loving it at the end of August or the beginning of September when I do the next video, it's going. For foundation, I grabbed this one here from Fenty. I have this one here from Becca. This is one from ColourPop, and this one is from Smashbox. I have a lot of foundations in my drawer, and I reach for the same ones over and over again. The easiest ones to get rid of right now, because I can't even link them, is this one from Becca. This is the Ultimate Coverage Foundation, and this one from ColourPop. This is the No Filter Foundation. These are both discontinued. They were never amazing foundations anyway, so happy to say goodbye. Foundations on the chopping block are this one from Smashbox. This is the Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, and then this one here from Fenty. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte. Both of these I am not a huge fan of for the same reason. They're just a thicker style foundation. I like my foundations to be very thin, very lightweight, yet medium to full coverage, and long lasting, and of course a matte finish. So these both are going to go on the chopping block, but for today I'm going to use the Fenty. Now, one way that I have found it makes it a little more tolerable to use this type of a foundation is to use it with a damp sponge. I tend to be more of a brush kind of girl, but with the brush I feel like it just goes on a little bit too heavy. So I am using just a little bit on there, and I'm gonna spread this out and see if I can fall in love again with this foundation, because I know I've given it good reviews. I just, every time I find a thinner one that gives me the same coverage and is also matte, this one just gets pushed further back into the drawer. In the mirror, it just looks a little bit heavy on my skin. So we shall see, Fenty. The other concealer that I grabbed is the Ordinary, and this is their high coverage concealer, and this is in the shade 2N. This one I have issue with because it is just a very thick concealer. So what I've been doing is putting a little bit on the back of my hand. Again, it's a texture thing. A fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna tap a little bit in, and I'm gonna go extremely light-handed. I have found that is the best way to apply a super thick concealer, a super high coverage concealer, especially if you're heavy-handed. Put it on like this, and then you have less of a chance of over applying. This one is going right in that basket in front of me in my bedroom. At least a couple of times a week I will make an effort to use this, and then a decision will be made in September. For under eye setting powder, I grabbed this one from number 7. This is the Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder in the shade Light. I used to sing its praises until things like my Pink Morphe powder came along, or the Laura Mercier, but this one, I'm gonna give it a try. I don't think I've used this one yet with my new favorite powder puff. It's got a good dip in it. I'm gonna tap it off on my hand, and I'm gonna set that under eye. And I also grabbed the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This is a brightening loose powder that I will also be trying on my under eyes more consistently. This one I'm gonna give a last shot. I grabbed a cream bronzer and a powder bronzer that I have not been given enough love to. The cream bronzer is the Huda Beauty. I have no intention of getting rid of this. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but I have just been obsessed with cream bronzers lately, and my collection has been growing, and I enjoy this, so I wanted to make sure that I insisted on giving this some love. So the Huda Tantour is just so creamy and blendable. I bought this. This is not the least expensive item, but I got it on sale during the Sephora VIB, and I did not regret it. I like the tone, I like the blendability. This one is gorgeous. Love it. I grabbed 2 cream blushes. The first one is this one from Milk Makeup. This one's in the shade Work. I've had this for a long time, just don't tend to reach for it. And then I have this one from Ciate. This is the Dewy Blush. I got this in a Boxycharm. It's in the shade, I believe, Coconut. The milk is starting to smell a little funny, although I remember my bronzing stick smelled like this. So I don't know if that's just the scent of milk. Comment below if you have milk products that tend to smell a little bit like a crayon. And then this Ciate Dewy, I'm not sure I'm going to be a fan of this one. I've only tried it once, to be honest, and it's very, very dewy on the cheek. So if it doesn't dry down, I know that's going to annoy me. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Ciate on right now on my hand. I'm going to, yeah, it feels like oil on my face. This one might be going right now. Looked like it was going to be pigmented, and then it just sort of disappeared. We'll leave it there for a minute and see what we think, but it is barely there. And then the Milk Work, this is what this one looks like. I'm gonna make an attempt. It's a pretty shade of pink, and this one from recollection does last. And this one, I still have quite a bit of product in. I grabbed 2 different highlighters. I grabbed my Benefit Cookie. I love this highlight, and this one just has a large pan. I'm gonna keep working on that, keep getting down into that pan. The other one is another Fenty, and this is the How Many Carats highlighter, and that is what that looks like. It is a pretty silver glitter sort of topper of a highlight, whereas the Benefit Cookie has a lot more of a base, and it's a little more champagne. You can barely see the Fenty. Really kind of goes better as a highlight topper. So I think for today, I'm going to use the Fenty, but on top of my blush. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the bronzer, because I grabbed 2 powder bronzers here. This one is from Ulta, this one is from Hoola. This is the Hula Bronzer that I got as a birthday gift from Ulta a couple of years ago. We've got a nice big pan on that. I know I like it, so I just want to put a big fat dent in it. This one from Ulta, I do not think that I like, so I want to give it one more shot before it goes goodbye. And it could be a shade. Mine is in the shade medium, but to me, this looks so, it's just a little warmer than I would prefer. But I am gonna use it today. I'm gonna set this bronzer with my fluffy BH brush, and it's got a lot of pigment. I always forget about that. This came in a set that Ulta had that I picked up. It was kind of hit and miss, if I remember. If it's still available, I will link it. But not patchy. It truly is just about a shade, so who knows? I'm kind of hopeful for this one. And I only grabbed 1 powder blush. This is the one from Ofra. I was reminded how much I enjoy Ofra when I was talking about that glitter shadow. And this is the Charm Your Cheeks palette. And I'm going to set that Ciate blush with this. It's got some beautiful shades in it. And I think I'm going to do a more green eye look today. I'm gonna go in with this bright peachy shade. Let's do that. I mean, every time I use it, it's beautiful. But again, sometimes when the packaging is too big, it just sort of gets pushed into the back of the drawer. And Ofra has beautiful liquid lips, that glitter eyeshadow, oh, that 5-star that I just talked about in my last declutter video. Ofra has some gorgeous products, and I know their website has some great sales. I'm not sure I'm loving my cheeks, and it might be that Ciate. Still on the chopping block. But this one, I'm gonna make a good effort to get some use out of. And now what I'm gonna do is take that Fenty Beauty highlight, and I'm gonna go on top of that blush. And let's see if we can get a little bit of a shimmer going on there. Ooh, I like it. And I'm using it almost more as a blush topper. I think I'll get into the eyes now, and I grabbed 2 shadow palettes to put on the chopping block. The first one is the Naked Honey from Urban Decay. I love the shades in this palette. I don't love the pan size. If you saw my video where I talked about annoying packaging, I don't like the skinny pan sizes. I like a larger pan in my eyeshadows, but I want to use this, and also FYI, this one is on sale right now. I also grabbed this Dia and Noche palette from JCat. This one, have not used it in a while, and this one also happens to be on sale at Ulta. I wish we were live, you could tell me which one to use today, but this one has some gorgeous colors, and I love the shimmers in this one. I'm gonna use this JCat. I'm gonna go right into this green shade at the top, and I'm gonna use my Units 309 brush. Hopefully I do not have fallout. Try to be careful, not go in too heavy-handed. And I'm just gonna go into the crease with this pretty green. Now I did a light wash of color. You could go much deeper with this green. It just depends on the brush that you use and the pressure that you're using. I'm going to go in with another one of my Units brushes. Nope, I lie. This is Luna Magic. It just happens to be orange. But this is more of a flat brush, and I'm going to take that same green and go underneath. You see the black in my waterline. I apologize. That is the L'Oreal La Liner. I had it on yesterday, and it really likes to hang around. Does not like to come off, and I do not want to drag at my eyes. Let's throw a little bit of glitter. This one is a little brighter. This one is a little deeper. I think I'm gonna go into the deeper one. Just throw a little bit of a pretty copper shimmer on top. That's truly just if you want to be extra, because I think this look is beautiful as well. If you wanted to be simple and look put together, you could have stopped right there. Should I deepen that outer corner? No, I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm gonna add a little bit of liner, but this one is a great palette. Both of these are good palettes. For liner, wish me luck. I grabbed this one from Seraphine Botanicals. This is a Boxycharm, and I got this in a box and I rarely use it. So let's give it some love or throw it in the garbage. It's just not as deep. You can see the pigment is not super strong. It's not as easy to control as my Essence, my new love, my Essence Waterproof. So we'll see if we can just build this up. This side is darker than this side. It just doesn't want to build up. This one's hanging on the edge of the chopping block. I'm gonna set this with the Ciate Dewy blush, and we're gonna make a decision at the end of the video about that one. For pencil liner, this is my Sephora retractable waterproof. I have no intention of saying goodbye. I just haven't been reaching for it, so I wanted to give it some love. You know where this one goes a little bit above and beyond is silly as it sounds. I love this little smudger on the end. I think it is so convenient to not have to go and grab for another brush. I'm gonna go ahead and curl the lashes. I'm gonna use this Oma by Sharon C Batter Boom mascara that I do love, but this is a little travel size, and I would like to see if I can finish this month. It's been a few months. I can feel a little bit of a difference in the formula, so I'm gonna use it up. To set my face, I grabbed the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This is pretty old in my collection, so I want to give it some love, and I'm going to set my face with this. This is in the shade Light. It does give a little bit of coverage, and I'm basically just hoping to finish it. Let's go ahead and set the brows. I grabbed this Revolution brow glue. I've had a love-hate relationship with this. It's wonderful and horrible at the same time. Some days it works really well, and other days I really dislike it. It's really hard to get off at the end of the day, and sometimes the hold is not immediate, but I think I just need to commit to using it a little bit more, and then at the end, at the beginning of September, when I come back, I will tell you what my final thoughts are. Let's hold them up. We'll give it a shot. In the lip liner category, I have these Lippy Duos from ColourPop. These were in my fails. I don't even know why they were still in the drawer. The lip color was not bad. Here's one of them. This was in the variation Lollipop, but the lip liners were terrible. Every time I went to use them, they would break. So these, because they're gone and I'm not going to use them anyway, saying goodbye. I also have these lip liners from Sephora brand. and I am embarrassed to say that I have 3 and I did not buy them all at the same time. This one, just a personal preference. Another creator recommended these. I have these in 3 different shades: Knock on Wood, Mesquite, and Rosewood. Let me go ahead and swatch these for you. Here is Rosewood. Next one is Knock on Wood, Mesquite. The problem with these is that the tip is a little bit too thick and it tends to not give me the crisp line on my lips that I want. And this is what it looks like, and you just sort of twist them up. They do have a sharpener, so did I know this? I don't know. I'm gonna try to sharpen it, and it sharpens a little bit. I never use those sharpeners. And I'm gonna line my lips. Okay, lips are lined, and I am reminded of another thing that I do not like, is that they have a little bit of a sheen. This next lip liner is from e.l.f., and this is their Love Triangle lip liner, and it's in the shade Deep Brown. And my issue with this lip liner is just that it is very, very dry. I have a hard time getting it on my lips. It just drags. And e.l.f., you know I love so many products from you. This one, I'm okay with saying goodbye. I'm not gonna drag that across my lips. 4 lip colors. The first one I have to say goodbye to, and this one is the Bite Beauty. This is in, I believe, Cocoa, and this is a shimmering brown that actually I had a makeover at Sephora a couple of years ago with my mother. She used this on me. I loved it. I bought it. This one, because it is retired, I'm saying goodbye. The next one is from Rare Beauty. I wanted to try her Lip Soufflés, and I got this deep brown shade. It's called Thrilling, and I have never been a fan. It is a little bit patchy, a little bit too dark than what I prefer, and not super long lasting. But I am going to make an effort to use it. I've seen people sort of blend it in with their fingers. I'm gonna try that. Let's see, when I smudge it out, it looks a little nicer. Let me go back to this liner and see if I can deepen that black a little bit. Because sometimes when it's wet, you can't deepen it. A little better. On the edge, but I'm gonna let it stay. And then this Ciate, I don't love the way my cheeks look. And I think it's because of this. I think it lifted my foundation. I think that Ofra didn't want to go on top of it. So Ciate Dewy, you're going. Cutthroat. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will for sure film at least one video in the month of August using these products. Maybe I'll do a look with the Naked Honey palette, the items that I did not get to use today because I tried to pick a couple from each category. Let me know if you found this entertaining, if you found this useful, if I am inspiring you to dig in the back of the drawer. You should have seen me. I was looking with my flashlight and my phone in the back of my drawers being like, what have I not touched? What have I not played with? Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Be sure that you are subscribed to my channel if you aren't already. I would love to have you join me. I upload on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.